It's the final countdown. Oh, it's time. Yeah, we know, guys. It's time. It's kickoff Sunday. Sunday. Truckosaurus. Oh, I missed it when it was always just kickoff Sunday. I hate the Thursday night game. Unless someone like the Giants are playing. But it's that time. Week 1. Giants versus the Commanders. In DC. Well, technically it's not in DC. But it's that time, guys. It seems like we have waited forever. It seems like we have gone through the I guess the doldrums of the summer. We've waited for this moment. We've waited for a 1:00 kickoff for the New York Football Giants against the Washington Commanders. Going over to FanDuel. Of course, it's in Landover, Maryland. That's right. It's not even Washington anymore. It's in Landover, Maryland. Going over to FanDuel, Giants are 6.5-point dogs still to the Washington Commanders. I would take the 6.5. Poise Sports FanDuel, the number one sports book in all the land, all of America. Place your bets. Do anything you want. Fantasy football. They got racing. They got everything. FanDuel's got everything that you could imagine. So go there right now. Take the Giants in the 6.5. Because we're going to talk about how I think the keys to the Giants winning this game. We're going to talk about the keys to potentially be could there be a shocker? I don't know. What about we got the first super chat of the season. What about Brian Burns? Kings won supreme. What about Brian Burns? We're waiting to see what these guys have to offer. Taking a look at the injury report. I'm going to make sure we get to everyone in the chat. Taking a look at this, let's see here. Commander's injury report. Marcus Mariota has the Achilles injury. He was a full practice and full participant on Friday. Matt Gay, also their kicker, was a full participant with illness. Jonathan Jones didn't practice on Friday. He is one of their corners. Noah Brown didn't practice on Friday. Mr. Armstrong, one of their defensive ends, was a full practice. Zach Ertz did not participate in practice. It was a rest day. So I'm going to say the Commanders are coming in kind of healthy. Giants, of course, are going to be without the services, and you can say what you want, but the Giants are going to be without the services of Andrew Thomas. He is listed as doubtful. And if we take a look at that, I mean, he hasn't participated really in any of the camp. I mean, it's not a shock. I posted a video of him working lightly in the rubber bands. But it's nothing that's, it's nothing that we're looking at and saying, okay, it's going to be, is it going to be a detriment for the full season? I don't know. But right now we don't know. Currently, really, the Giants list only consists of Andrew Thomas, who was doubtful, and Malik Neighbors, who has the back injury. Looks like he did not participate, of course, in the practice on Friday, but he looks like he's gonna go. And you're gonna need Malik Neighbors to go. This is gonna. What's up, Mr. Sanders? And this in the G-Men family. This is gonna be a weird season for the Giants. And I've said this before. This is going to be a season where it's going to be, and people are going to say, well, Tim, that doesn't make any sense because it's always a week-to-week season. No, this is going to be a week-to-week season because the Giants' schedule, like everyone else in this division, is such a tough schedule. So every week you are going, Mr. Sanders, it's never too early to start drinking. The question is, is it too early to stop drinking? It's never too early to start. It's 10:04. It's happy hour. It's 5 p.m. somewhere. But this is going to be a season where you're going to have to look at each individual matchup and see the strength and the weaknesses and vis-a-vis the injury, the development of the Giants players, and where the other teams on this schedule fall in reference to their health, the way they are currently working in the season, and currently the way their roster is and match rating as well, because the majority of these guys are playoff teams or former playoff teams. So you're going to have to look at this from a serious week-to-week season. You're going to have to look at this from a perspective of you literally, the old cliche is you got to play them one game at a time. This is literally one of these seasons you have to play it one game at a time because each week could be a different variant. You're not 100% sure of the full health of Malik Neighbors. He's had the toe, he's had the shoulder, he's had the back. He's had limited practice since like August. And I love it though, because Terry McLaurin's been in camp now for a couple weeks. He's doing what he needs to do. He's getting himself into game shape, but he is going to be hindered by the fact that he has been out for so long, but Malik Neighbors is not. Okay. All right. Well, that's just the logic of some people, but we need to focus singularly on this Washington team. We need to focus singularly on this Washington offense. You're going to have to see our biggest hope is going to be, is Jaden Daniels going to take a step back, or is Jaden Daniels going to take a step up? That's going to be the biggest thing. Because they went out and they've gotten him another weapon in Deebo Samuels. They traded away their best running back. I know they love the rookie, but you traded away your best running back, who was a giant killer at times. So you're going to have to see how they work offensively going into year 2 of the Jaden Daniels experience. Can the Giants take a page out of certain playbooks where we're sitting there and we're looking at how we can stop this team in reference to slowing down the passing game? Because I think slowing down the passing game is going to be one of the things that we are going to have to worry about. Zach Ertz has always been a giant killer. Zach Ertz, even at his advanced age of 497, has always been a giant killer. Austin Eckler is a professional running back. I mean, he only had 367 yards last season, but this is a guy that has carried the load before. This is a guy that knows how to carry the rock. It's not a guy that is going to go and play and be like, oh, I've never done this before. He had 2 900+ seasons, 900-yard seasons in a row for the Chargers. Of course, that was 2001 and 2022. They're going to split duty. I said duty. They're going to, I've been watching Beavis and Butthead, the remix. He's going to split duty with the rookie. So I also like Chris Rodriguez. I know he's listed as our 4th running back, but I do think he's shown some things in this league. But your offense between McLaurin, Samuel, and Brown is going to be where this is going to fall into. And this is kind of where we're going to see how this progresses and how this works. I also think you're going to see a step up from Luke McCaffrey. So that's going to be interesting. You improve the offensive line. I mean, you go out and get a Laramie Tunstall. You know, they drafted the other kid. You got an offensive line that's solid. And I've said this before, if I'm the NFL, if I'm looking at this giant defense, I'm looking at the front 4 going, yes, they can rush the passer, but Carl Banks said it best. You need to earn the right to rush the passer. And wait, how do you do that? You stop the run. If I'm any team in this league, and I've said this before over and over again, I see Abdul Carter, I'm running right at him. I'm going to make Abdul Carter stop the run game. I'm going to take, if you're going to bring in these 3 guys, you need to take Abdul Carter out of his element, which is going to be rushing the passer, which is why you run right at him. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. That's what teams are going to do. They are going to run right at him at first to see what he can do and see if he can stop the run. Because, like I said, this is a guy that had 25.9% missed tackle percentage his second season as an off-the-ball starting linebacker at Penn State. He is not good tackling in space. He's not good tackling in the box. What he is proficient at is using his speed to get to the quarterback. I've said this before. I could see him having a Bryce Huff year where he has 30 tackles, but he has 12.5 sacks. So that's what I'm doing with that big-ass offensive line in Washington. I'm running at the Giants. Defensive-wise, with the Commanders, no, you picked up you got Von Miller back. You got Bobby Wagner. The Bobby Wagner is a guy I want the Giants to get years ago. He is just this wonder. He's literally just this guy that is a wonder. You're also going to get a full season out of Marcus Lattimore. You're going to have to see if they can generate any type of rush to get to Russell Wilson. I hope they're not, because you're going to have to give Russell a few extra seconds if you're going to use Malik Neighbors as your deep threat. That's kind of the way we're going to have to look at this right now. Defensively, I'm not overly concerned about their Dominic Palmer. I'm not overly excited about their defensive line coming at the Giants. But again, I am worried about the Giants' offensive line, because the Giants' offensive line has not outside of Bo, We are not seeing something that is a massively changed or improved offensive line. And I from what I've seen out of Chris Hubbard, that kind of scares the bejesus out of me. Jonathan Azuda, of course, is also still on IR. So you're going to have to rely on the likes of Hudson and Bo at that left tackle position, and you know the Commanders are going to attack that side. Theo Johnson, we haven't seen anything from Theo Johnson since the Buffalo game. So we're gonna have to wait and see with that, and we're gonna have to see how they use Cam Scatterboo and how they use Tyrone Tracy. Cam Scatterboo right now is listed as the Giants' third back behind Devin Singletary. Tyrone Tracy, of course, has that ability to break the big one. That's what she said. Oh wait.
That's what she said.
Sorry about that. So having that ability, it's going to give you a nice little feel. One of the things you got to worry about the Giants passing game is outside of Malik Neighbors, are you really going to rely on Wando 3 yards in a cloud of dust and Darius Slayton? I love how people will love Darius Slayton now with the 3-year, $36 million, but we forgot about 5 years of drops. That was the big thing we used to have to hear about Daniel Jones, that he would drop the shit out of the ball. Well, evidently now that's just gone. Defensively, looking at the Giants against this Washington team, you would think that they could control the line of scrimmage at times against the run. Like I said, Washington does have much improved and big offensive line. But if you have anyone like Dexter Lawrence sitting in that middle, I love that you got the Nacho Man and Roy Robert Harris listed, going to be starting on your offensive line. You are going to basically have Brian Burns, Bobby Okereke, McFadden, and everyone else as almost running like a 5 linebacker set, which is going to be interesting. Paulson Adebo, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Because, like I said, we haven't seen that Paulson Adebo moment from the Saints, so this is going to be an interesting thing. Tyler Nubin, you're going to hope that, to me, like I said, Tyler Nubin is more of an in-the-box safety. But Holland, like I said, we got to make sure that Holland becomes the Miami safety from 2 years ago, not what he was last year. Banks and Flott looks like they're going to rotate at the corner. Well, that's not a recipe for disaster. And then you're going to have Drew Phillips as your nickel, backed up by Nick Jones. This is a good test with McLaurin and Samuels and Noah Brown, that is, for this Giants secondary. Because if the Giants can't get the rush going early, and I'm telling you this, and now everyone needs to watch this. I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. Most offensive coordinators are going to look at the Giants rush and say very simply, how do we negate the rush? Well, we wait till they become over aggressive. And then we basically just check out of plays, go to some screens, go to some draws, go to some delayed handoffs, play it smart, use an option style offense, and take advantage of the over aggressiveness. Now, the Giants have the athleticism in reference to some of these guys, but we're not looking at guys that are proficient at stopping the run or playing the pass, dropping in the coverage. I know everyone says, well, Brian Burns is going to be all over the field like last year. Well, Brian Burns only played 26 snaps off the line last year. Brian Burns, what about Brian Burns? Brian Burns is, to me, the benefit of Brian Burns is the fact that he can, at times, maintain his assignments and play the run. And he deserves to be, like I said, you need to put him on the line. And you're going to have to hope that Bobby Okereke gets out of the Blake Martinez year 2 sophomore slump and becomes what he was. And you have to hope that Micah McFadden turns around and stops missing 13% of his tackles. But like I said, this is a good test for the Giant defensive line. And this is a good test for the secondary. Because like I said, this is a quarterback that you're not going to know where he's going to be and what he's going to do. Now, for those that want to take Abdul Carter and put him in as a spy to Jaden Daniels, no. Because you are taking away the one thing right now that you know that he can do extremely well, which is rush the passer. And you're taking a man out of your rush. And we've seen this before. We've seen Bobby Okereke and Brian Burns disappear for multiple periods of time. No, it's Brownie. It's not gloom and doom. You know what, Brownie? Go fuck off. Because you want to know why? It's called honesty.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I'm not dealing with stupid this year. Someone said it the other day. Someone said the old Tim is creeping back out of the crypt. Yeah, he is. Had a big cough. All this dust came out. I'm not dealing with stupid this year. If you're going to be a stupid, moronic fucking Giant fan, go fuck off and go to Chad Sports. That's all I'm going to tell you. So I'm not dealing with it. Because there's too many morons in the segment of the Giants that think that you telling things that for me sitting here and telling people what the advantages and disadvantages are of both the Giants offense and defense, and then say, well, you're going to be positive, you're going to be negative. Fuck off. How about that? Take a big leap of, I reached in my pocket and I found 0 fucks. Bye-bye. Good to see you. But like I said, you don't spy Abdul Carter on Jaden Daniels because you're taking away his asset. You're taking away what he does best. You're taking away his ability to attack the quarterback. And like I said, this is a great test for the Giants, this Commander game. This is a great test because of the fact, plain and simple, the Commanders were a couple plays away last year from going to the Super Bowl. This is a team that improved in the offseason. This was a playoff team that had a weak schedule. But of course, when the Giants had a weak schedule that year, they went 9-7-1. You know, that didn't matter. But they had a weak schedule, and now they're going to play some stiff competition, but they improved where they are. They have a good head coach, and they have a great soon to be great young quarterback, because we don't know. Jaden Daniels could hit the skids. Jaden Daniels could find that sophomore slump and just be horrendous. And that's kind of where we're hoping. We're kind of hoping that we take advantage of a road divisional game and come out with a win. The problem is this: no one really knows how good the Giants are. We've seen the aberration of a wonderful preseason. The Detroit Lions, we've talked about this before. Detroit Lions went undefeated in the preseason one year, then proceeded to go 0-16. I'm not saying the Giants are going to go 0-16. I'm not saying the Giants aren't going to make the playoffs. What I am saying is preseason is not an indication of what you're going to be during the regular season, because it's basically a fantasy land. It's all preseason in some regards. The way it is set up now, it's almost a fantasy camp, because you have the players that are going to make it. You have the players that are going to try to make the team, and you got players that have no shot, and they don't really do enough inside the camp to have the ability to dictate what certain people are going to be. So if we take a look at the Giants offensive line against, like I said, if Thomas was in the game and you weren't going to rely on Hudson and Bo, I would take a look at this Giant offensive line and say, okay, they have an advantage, even with Von Miller and a couple other players. But outside of Neighbors, you're going to have to rely on Tyrone Tracy, because you have Neighbors, Wanda Robinson, Darius Slayton, backed up by Jalen Hyatt, Bo Collins, and Gunner. That's basically spawn and sane and pray for rain. So you're going to have to take advantage of the running game. You're going to have to take advantage of the speed that you have in Tyrone Tracy, of the playmaking ability and the ability to check out of plays and see the different nuances in the defense that you see in Russell Wilson, and basically attack the Commanders. I wouldn't be in a full attack mode. What I would do with Devin Singletary and Tyrone Tracy, and even with Cam Scatterbo, I would do we've talked about it before. I would do the Herman Munster. I would run, control the clock, have long, arduous drives that end in touchdowns, not a field goal. The Giants, like I said, people kept saying to me, well, the Giants were terrible because the defense was always tired last year because they were always on the field. No, the Giants were 16th in time of possession in the offense last year. The problem with the Giants last year is they couldn't score. They always say you drive for dough, you drive for show, you putt for dough. And the problem is the Giants couldn't putt with inside the 20. So what you need to do is you need to take a little bit of the nuances from last year, control the clock, control the elements, but come up with some points. Come up with 7 points. I know it's a lot. It's a lot easier said than done, but that's what the Giants truly need to focus on. The problem is, Jennifer, it's Theo Johnson. We haven't seen that. We haven't had a Theo Johnson sighting since Buffalo. So we're going to have to wait and see. And Theo Johnson, like I said, I know some people are excited about Theo Johnson, but what have you seen that you're excited about? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm just actually being curious about this. Jay Ferris says, positive thoughts today going into the game. Thanks for all your content. Thank you, Jay Ferris. I always appreciate you. And all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. But it doesn't have to be about positivity. Because you know what positivity gets you? Shit. I've been on some of the most positive, well-rounded teams in college that were sucked. But we were positive. You know what trumps positivity? Talent. A good coaching staff. The ability to find your game plan that is going to fluctuate against the team that you hope that you are better than. And Herschel Real says it right. The bottom line is this is a winnable game. We're going to talk about that. I've already talked about this over and over again. That's why I get so pissed off about fucking morons that are like, oh, is it going to be any positivity today? Yeah, I'm the only idiot content creator that's been saying since training camp that the Giants could potentially go 3-3 in the first 6. Now everyone's jumping on board. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I still think they're a 5-6 win team, but I keep telling the people the way the football gods work, you could potentially go 3-3 in your first 6. And I still think, looking at the way the Cowboys and the Eagles plays, and it's a very small sample, that 9 wins can take this division. I know people don't believe that, but I'm telling you right now, Dallas is not going to be as bad as people think. Dallas is going to be competitive. I think Philadelphia is going to take a step back. And I think the Commanders are going to take a step back. So if you look at the way they have to play in divisionally and the way they have to, and the way our schedule is, I think 9 wins takes this division. You go 3-3 in your first 6, you got to go 6-5 in your last 11, and you cannot tell me the Giants, if you think deserve to make the playoffs, cannot be a 1 game over 500 team in the last 11. I agree. I agree that a real quarterback is playing now. I agree. But Jennifer, and again, there's going to be negativity. Jennifer, can we also agree we are not getting the 26-year-old Russell Wilson? We're getting the soon-to-be 37-year-old Russell Wilson. So there will be a huge upgrade in quarterback play. Doug, I do think Philly's going to take a step back, not because of their talent. I think they're going to take a step back because of the fact that the schedule that they are playing. That's the way. That's what I see. I think they're going to take a step back because of the schedule that they're playing. Jay Ferris says, Tim is kind of like me. I project negativity, but deep down inside, I'm all positive. Here's the problem. I'm not negative at all. It's just people don't want to hear the truth. We've said it before on that great podcast. Now the number 3rd ranked Gen X podcast. Get off my lawn, Matt Ramblings of a Gen Xer. The truth shall always set you free. And that's what we need. And that's what we need to look at. What's up? Yo. What's up, my brother? Don. I saw Don. Dom. Where is Dom? Blackbird says, I'm wearing my neighbor's jersey to the. Oh, that's right. You're going to the game today. Yeah, I'm wearing my my starter Giants shirt from training camp. Let's see. Robert said, unfortunately, there are more than enough stupid in our fan base. Yeah. You ain't wrong. So let's go. 35-24 Commanders. No, we're not doing the score yet. Eric Butler says, pretty cute. Jennifer, pretty cute. I've told you this before, but I know not to. But 1-2. But Jennifer, what? Leak scores 2 touchdowns. Washington's defense is old. Why does everyone think? I love it because people have this misconception of the age of the Washington Commanders. The average age of the Washington Commanders team is 27.2. Yes, they are literally are the oldest team by average. But if you take a look at the teams that are below them, now you got to remember they're like 27.2. The teams below them are like 26.9, 26.8, 26.4, 26. So they're not as old as people are saying. Yeah, they have older players. They're not. But this is what I love. They're old, but Russell Wilson, who's going to be 37 in November, well, we're getting the 20-year-old Russell Wilson, 27-year-old Russell Wilson. Damn the man, what the fuck? You haven't said one negative thing yet. I know. I'm just breaking. You know, if I was on the network, because I do have network here, if I was on network and I was breaking down this for everyone individually, people are going to be like, Well, it's, thank you, Dan. What's up, Big Greg? Hit that, Robert said, hit that like button. Smack that like button. Now, the Commanders got lucky in a lot of those games last year. A lot of their games last year were one-possession games like the Giants in 2022. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think Washington's taking a step back. I think Philadelphia's taking a step back because of the schedule, but I also don't think Dallas is as bad as people think because that Dallas offense, CeeDee Lamb catches that pass. There's a whole different game there. You don't have that rain delay. I think that game's like 35-34. I don't know which way, but I'm telling you. I am all over with my win-loss prediction. We're going to do that this way. Graham G, what's up? Other Giant content creators are trying to find excuses on why the Giants should win. McLaurin signing, Parsons trade, but now look, no Andrew Thomas. The thing is, like I said, the other Giant content creators do this because of the fact they like the legs to clicks to bleeps and the boops. They want to be popular. They want to be successful on YouTube. I don't give a shit. Like I've said a million times, I reached in my pocket and found zero fucks. Don't care. I do this because I like talking Giants and I like talking football. I don't care if I'm talking to one person or 4 million. Don't matter. I do this in the parking lot of the game. If we lose Neil for an extended period of time, we are fucked. Well, Neil's not even starting. Neil is going to go with Greg Van Roten is being Evan Neal's backing up by your starting offensive line. Looks like it's going to be Hudson, Runyon, JMS, Jonathan, Greg Van Roten, of course, and Ellie Moore Fudd. So we're not worried about that. I share those Theo sentiments. Theo Johnson, like I said, Theo Johnson hasn't been seen since Buffalo. So I'm kind of curious the way they're going to do this. All I can control these 3 hours before the game is my attitude. That's it. You're right. That's a good way to put it. Matthew says, I love the fact that Tim is finally projecting positivity. Keep it real. Of course, but still people are going to hate. Yeah, I know. Haters, you know what? Sometimes they stay out too late. Some people say I got nothing in my brain. But I just shake it off. That's, of course, RoGR, the Swifty. Let's see. Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. The Giants win the division 12-5 and run it. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta see. What's up? What's up? Stream. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, everybody. I stay out too late. 12-5. Okay, Ryan.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Greg says, man, I think we got issues with the scrambling quarterback. We don't have the linebackers to keep up and could. Wells Fargo fraud charges. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Now I got it. Now I got to check this. Now I got to check this out. Everyone, hold on a second here. Let's see here. I gotta check something here. Okay, where are we? Hold on. I gotta check something for somebody here. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, everyone. I'm trying to look something up here. Hold on. All right, hold on. That's a spam. They don't have your number. They use masked number. That's where it goes. All right, hold on, everyone. I'm just all right, there we go. That's why everyone tunes in. It's the professionalism. Aziz Ojolari was a healthy scratch. McLovin deserves some super chats for that prediction.
I am McLovin.
I think McLovin needs to lose some subscribers for that prediction. It's not negativity. It's called being realistic. I agree. Mr. Bruce says, I bet Russell's phrase is going to be, let's sail Big Blue. Here's what I think about Russell. Here's why I'm glad Russell Wilson is not playing at home today. I'm going to be 100% honest. Because any play, I've said this before, if you're playing Kansas City, home game, Sunday Night Football, Giants get the ball, first series, first play, handoff, negative 3-yard loss, Tyrone Tracy Jr. The fan base is going to boo Russell Wilson and call for Jackson Dart. They did it. They did it with Daniel Jones. So that's why I'm glad Russell's on the road for 2 weeks. And I know he can handle it. Dan the Man says Roy's only Irish Open win was 2016. We went to Dallas and shocked them in week 1. Royers current tied for the lead right now. Just saying. Okay, Dan the Man. Let's see here. James Stein said, Jennifer, you are right. You do have a good quarterback, but the guy is 37 in November. But who's to say he can't string some good games together? But we got to wait and see. Exactly. Gentlemen, I love your high-functioning autism. That's kind of funny. I like the Commanders. I like what the Commanders bring in veteran players. Veteran players are not a bad thing, guys, because they do have a mixture. The Commanders do have a mixture of young talent. It's not like the Commanders, all their entire team is old. I mean, you could look at the Giants team and say, well, their team is too young. I mean, look at it that way. Look, you want to go through the ages. Okay. Josh Johnson is 39. Okay. He's on this roster. He's 39 years old. He's one of their backup quarterbacks. So yes, that takes your age up. Von Miller's 36. Yes, that takes your age up. Their punter is 35. Again, are we seeing a pattern here? And then all of a sudden you get down to a bunch of 30-year-olds. And then all of a sudden you get to a bunch of 20-year-olds. And then all of a sudden you get to a bunch of 25-year-olds and 24-year-olds. You have to look at the total average of something. You have two players in Josh Johnson, who's 39, who is their backup quarterback. And their punter is 35. So sometimes you have to take things into context, not just look at a number and say, well, that's what the number is. Darius Slayton has had more than 4 touchdowns since 2014. That's a crazy stat, but don't worry, we gave him 3 years, $36 million. This team has no system or identity. We have players that try to build a system around them. This team have a system, identity, and get players to fit that. Pittsburgh, Green Bay, San Francisco, and even Detroit now. We don't know what the Giants' system is or what their identity is yet either, because we don't know what they're going to run. We don't know if they're going to run this Mike Kafka. Evidently, Mike Kafka is going to be doing some of the play calling. We don't know, because this offense for 4 years has been putrid. I said sometimes I hearken back to the days of Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett's offense was the exact same as what we've been running basically for 4 years under Brian Daboll. So, or 3 years, I should say. This is year 4. So we have to wait and see. I don't know what our identity on offense is going to be yet. I don't know if it's me. I am not going with a pass-happy attack style offense. I'm going to use that as a weapon to loosen up the middle of the field and create space to run and lanes to run for Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. I'm going to use the tight end, which I said I would have liked to have gone out and got an actual professional tight end who is going to be able to open up the middle of the field to bring over this over-the-top safety help. So take away that double coverage off of number 1 on the sides. If it's me and I'm the Giants, I'm grinding the shit out. If you really think age is going to be the difference or the difference maker, I'm grinding this shit out, man. Because I'm gonna control the clock. I'm going to turn around and make it so they're gonna have to stop me. I'm going to, and like I said, Giants last year were 16th in the time of possession. which should tell you something right there. If they're 16th and if they're 16th in the time of possession last year, the issue was not the fact that they weren't controlling the clock or having the ball for an extended period of time. The issue has always been putting it in the end zone. So you are going to have to hope having a professional quarterback will allow you to keep matriculating the ball down the field and allow you to put the ball into the end zone. That's what you're gonna have to hope. And don't forget to hit the like. Blackbird says, I still think Dallas is better than Philly. If CeeDee Lamb catches those passes, Dallas wins Thursday. Yeah, he does. Tim, yes, Tim has mainly been positive. People can't handle the pure truth about this team. I agree. Good morning, Nick. What's up? Mosley gives us the 2 thumbs up. If Jay Ferrer says, I thought Dak played great. I don't think the Philly looked good at all. That's what I'm saying. C. Sanders says, we want the truth. You can't handle the truth. That is the problem. That is the biggest problem. Everyone wants to be sunshine and lollipops and rainbows and happy things. But the problem is, Rocky said it best.
You used to come to my house. What's the matter? You don't like my house? My house stink? That's right, it stinks!
We've stunk for 12 years now. Going back to 2011, we've made the playoffs twice and 1 playoff win in 13 years.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
And I'm all right with that. I'm all right being the bad guy. I'm all right being the guy in the black hat. Because in the last 4 years, we've been scary right. Did you get the signed jersey from Carl Banks? No, we sent it out. I have to actually email his assistant. We sent it out a week ago. We still have not gotten it back yet. So hopefully we're going to be able to give that away as soon as we get it back. So probably just busy. She's got stuff going on. Let's see here. Jennifer says, why do I feel we may see Jackson Dart play once again this preseason game? If it really can mess up our defense, Daboll's desperate to win the opener. There's talks and speculation that Jackson Dart is going to have packages. I am not a big fan, never have been. I'm not a big fan when they do it in college. I am not a big fan of rotating quarterbacks. We talked about it before with was it Pat White about years ago in Miami when they used him to rotate to go into the play the Wildcat, and that took the league by storm for about 15 weeks, and then it got shut down. I'm not a big fan of breaking up the continuity of your starting quarterback in your rhythm in the passing game. I'm not a big fan of that. And I don't see the benefit of potentially putting a rookie quarterback in a situation where he could make a mistake and potentially cost the Giants a game. And the problem is this: you have to, and I agree. Jennifer, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 1,000%. Daboll's going to be desperate to win games. So he may try to pull every play out of the playbook, but trick plays only last so long. Chicks dig scars. Sorry, I was gonna do the scene for the replacements, but I changed my mind. But I'm not a big proponent of breaking the continuity of a rhythm passing offense with a 2-time Super Bowl participant, 1-time Super Bowl winner, and Russell Wilson. I'm not into that. Let Russell Wilson play. Let Russell Wilson do what you got him to do, which is to run a professional style offense that has big play capability. Let's not rely to trickery to try to get a win, because a lot of times that trickery backfires. Michigan State. Yeah, like I said, I'm waiting. Please stand by. I am standing by. Told the Giants 6.5. I told the Giants 6.5 spread, and I took the Chargers to win on Friday. Like I said, go to FanDuel.com, #1 sportsbook, proud sponsor of the show, and take the 6.5. I'm not going to tell you who I think is going to win yet, but I am telling you, take the 6.5 points. If you are a Giant fan, I'm going to tell you how confident I am. I took the Giants. I went on FanDuel and I took the Giants in the 6.5. Gavin says 9 wins is doable, but everyone we project on this team has to come true. Better offensive line, better defensive line, quarterback. If all hit 9 doubles, so I do think 6 is a schedule. Gavin, I said the same thing. I think we're a 6-win team. But I have been saying since the start of training camp, the way I looked at this schedule, being realistic. You go 3-3 in your first 6. You have 3 divisional games. Hopefully you take one of those divisional games, which means you finally have 1 win inside the division. And if that's the case, you only have to go 6-5 in your last 11. And if you think you are a playoff caliber team, you cannot tell me being 1 game over 500 in 11 games is not possible. That's what I'm saying. Playoffs is possible. 1 over. That's a good way to put it, Jay. Playoff is possible. Number one pick is possible as well. Everything's on the table for this team. Well, then I love you, Brownie. Then Brownie, I apologize. Ah, man. See, that's why you didn't get banned. You got wonked. We don't ban people here. We take all opinions. We take all fan bases. We got Cowboy fans. We got Eagle fans. We got all different fans. That's why no one ever gets banned here. Unless you say something like racist or some shit like that, then you get banned. Or you go after one of the regulars, then you get banned. But no one gets banned here. We just put you in timeout for 5 minutes. And Brown says, no way, man. I am a hater. This is my favorite Giant channel. I'm the only one I take seriously. My word did not think that would stir the pot that much left him. Good job. Don't worry, man. I'm just in a bad mood. All right, Brown. You are now one of my favorite people. Let's see here. Dan the Man says, you're good, brother. 2.5 hours till kickoff. Take your time. Stu says, good morning, Tim and fellow Giant fans. Going to be a great day. I hope it's going to be a great day. I really do. I hope. And we're going to talk about who I think the, like I said, we're going to get into who's going to win. And like I said, I'm taking the 6.5 points. I already did. I already did. But this is actually a really good week for football. It's going to be interesting because you got the Jets and the Steelers in MetLife. So that's a fun, interesting game. You got the Washington Commanders and the Giants. You got the Bengals and the Browns, and it's the Battle of Ohio. So that's gonna be fun. You got Packers and Lions at 4:25, Bills and Ravens at 8:20. Then tomorrow you got Vikings and the Bears. There's some good games on this slate to kick off this season. I'm excited. After watching Dak play well and Dallas contain Barkley, we will be at the bottom of the NFC East. They didn't really contain Barkley. What happened was the fucking rain killed everything. That delay killed everything. Because both teams kind of went in the proverbial tank. Blackbird said, when Russell Wilson throws a pick, Giants fans will be. There's going to be I told you, Blackbird, first game of the season, first game at home. If Russell Wilson hands off and it's a 2-yard loss, they're going to boo him and want Jackson Dart. Does Dable survive an 0-5 start? Oh, yes. Dable survives an 0-5 start. Dable does not survive a 1-8 start. I've said this before. Brian Dable is going to get fired. It's going to be in that second game against. If everything goes to shit, he will be fired after the second game against Philly. He will be fired. Honey Pot, let's go. How you doing, Honey Pot, my brother? Hope everything's well. Blackbird says, veteran players mentor your younger players. Yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing that somewhere. Oh, it's when we had all these veteran players that were supposed to be mentoring our young guys. Mike Lee, I know it's early, but but I need to take the girlfriend out. First grandbaby. Oh, happy first grandbaby. Whose weddings today? Somebody's weddings today, and I can't remember who it is. Is it Mr. McCormick? Somebody's weddings today. Someone's getting married today. So congratulations. I know it's early, but celebration for girls. So Deadskins 24, Giants 18, quarterback room better, but I don't see enough. But I did not see enough of Wilson in the preseason. Robert says a mix. Well, happy first grandbaby celebration day. Robert says a mix of young and old is good for most of the teams. Blackbird says Dallas will win the NFC East. I don't know about that, but we'll have to wait and see. Dable goes 0-5, 0-8. He is done. Bye. And fired. Kafka takes over as an interim head coach for the rest of the season. You know what's scary? I could actually see that. Then let's see. Robert says the Giants have been the victim of mistaken identity over the past few years. T-Brad says we need to run a victory formation more. I'd like to see it run once. I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to keep telling this over and over again. This is a great matchup for the Giants. This is a winnable game for the Giants unless Jaden Daniels goes off. Because if he looks at Brown and McLaurin and Samuels and finds that rhythm and has an understanding of how to attack, like I said, I already know how to attack the Giant defense. And people, and I love it because we always we a lot of times we give these analogies and we give these indications of what teams are going to do against the Giants. And the majority of times it's what happens because it's not difficult to figure out. It's not difficult how to figure out how to attack the Giant defense. It's more difficult to actually do it. You take a look at the undersized front in reference to your defensive end and your linebackers. You take a look at the fact that you have three guys that are carbon copy players who two have a propensity to disappear for long stretches of a time. You have your strength in the interior. Bobby Okereke was a strength until last year. We don't know what it's going to be. And you have a secondary that is a huge question mark on both CB1, CB2, and your second safety spot. I'm an NFC East team. I see Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter. I'm running the ball. I don't care if it's 3rd and 9. I see all three. I'm running the ball. Because out of your 11 guys, you have three we have two that we know are not proficient at setting the edge and holding their assignment against the run. And we have one guy that like I said, second year in college, missed 25% of his tackles. And is should be more used as a speed rusher on 3rd downs. I see Abdul Carter on 1st down. Even if it's a pass play, I'm checking out and I'm running the ball. And I'm going to attack, not the interior of the line. I am going to attack the edge. We kind of saw it in preseason. I'm going to attack the edge and I'm going to be relentless at it. I'm going to pull the guard. I'm going to do so many different things that I'm just going to use the running game. It's like a puncher with a great jab. I am a boxer. And I'm a puncher, but I got a great fucking jab. I'm going to set you up with that jab ad nauseum. I'm going to wait till you drop that left shoulder and I'm going to come in with the uppercut. And that's what teams are going to do. They're going to set you up and then go over the top. And they are going to take advantage of the over aggressiveness and the speed of the. Now, this is the thing. You need to have a intelligent, cerebral quarterback. And we have a couple in this division. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to be that in year 2, but you have that in Jalen Hurts and you have that in Dak Prescott. So what I'm going to do as a functioning offense in the NFC East or any team, because you're going to go against the Duck, you're going to go against Mahomes, you're going to go against Love, you're going to have to do Dak twice, Hurts twice. I am going to set the Giants up. I'm going to take advantage of the over aggressiveness of your 3 undersized defensive ends, and I'm going to attack the exterior of your line. And then when you creep up, I'm going to try to expose your corners. And when you have people like Deebo Samuels and Terry McLaurin, or you have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, or you have CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, you have guys that can do that. Because the Giants are going to creep at times. And when they creep, and I know the rush is coming, because there are going to be certain downs that the rush is coming, I'm going to check out. It's not that difficult to figure out because everyone's like, no, there's no team in this league with this fierce rush. Well, okay, well, the 85 Bears at the 46 zone, which everyone thought was going to be the defense of the century. And after that 85 season, smart offensive coordinators figured out, listen, when you're bringing all these guys, and you had McMichaels, you had Dent, you had Wilbert Marshall, you had these pass rushers. When you're bringing all these guys, you're leaving one-on-one coverage all over the field. So you go to a short passing game and you get smart. Hey, we got our first spam bot. Cool. We got our first spam bot. That's awesome. I love it. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sometimes you have to take advantage of it. And people are going to be like, some people aren't going to get this. Most of the people here are going to get it. Sometimes you need to take advantage of a team's perceived strength. And you're going to have to go after that perceived strength. Because if you take the heart out of someone's defense and you go after what their strength is, you can and will be successful. Tim, I do think we have a lack of depth at wide receiver. Do you agree? Oh, yeah. I mean, just think of the fact who is backing up Neighbors and Slayton. Just think of that for a second. You're being backed up by your backup second string wide receivers. You go to a 5 receiver set. You're going to have Wandale Neighbors, Darius Slayton, and then you're going to have Hyatt Collins or Gunner. I don't even know that, what's his name? Felton even made the team. He's on IR. Yeah. You are a Neighbors play away for having to rely on Darius Slayton. That's not a good look. Jeff, what's up? Hey, Tim, this could be the year. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I agree. How's it going, Big? Kareem, what's up, brother? Let's go Giants and online Big Blue Nation. Jaden Jones says people are damaged by Daniel Jones' era. They don't recognize professional quarterback when they see it. Listen, Russell Wilson to me is a monumental upgrade over that guy that's going to be starting Indianapolis. He's a monumental upgrade. But the problem is too many people think we're getting 24-year-old Russell Wilson. And we're not getting 37-year-old Russell Wilson. But like I said, and Jalen, Mr. Jones, you said it right. There's no reason to rush Dart. Mosey says, I don't want to see any packages with the kid. I don't either. I don't want to break the continuity of the offense when you have a professional cerebral quarterback that needs to be involved in a rhythm passing game. I don't want all of a sudden to put in a trickery because then if the kid takes a sack or throws an interception or fumbles, do you want that to be the reason why the Giants lose a game? Play it straight. Dart needs to be brought along slowly. I agree. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. So that's right, Zach Attack. G. Graham said, out of the NFC East, wide receivers, we have the weakest. Oh, yeah. If you asked me, would I rather have Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton or Terry McLaurin or Deebo Samuels or A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith or CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, yeah. Giants are 4th. Let Russ cook. You're right. Let him cook. Why not? Todd says, unless Willie looks like shit, this team should be his. Oh, I agree. Russ is cooking microwave dinners. Hey, microwave dinners aren't that bad. Stu says, not depending on Wandale or Wyatt will be my wide receivers. I can't do that. No, Thomas is not playing. Thomas is listed as doubtful. Said this before. If you have any familiarity with the NFL vernacular. If you're probable, you're playing. If you're questionable, you're playing. If you're doubtful, you're not playing. You're not playing. Do you feel comfortable throwing to Darius or Papa Smurf on the 3rd and long? No. I feel more confident throwing to Darius, but Darius, like I said, for 5 years has had the propensity of dropping the ball. People forget that. People used to use Darius Slayton as the excuse why Daniel Jones did not succeed because of the drops. Now, people are using Darius Slayton as a benefit as a professional wide receiver for Jackson Dart. We watched Wan'Dale Robinson in training camp. We watched him in certain plays go deep. I keep seeing the play in camp in my head. Wan'Dale Robinson goes out about 25 yards deep. It's almost like he doesn't know what to do. And the ball's coming his way. And for some ungodly reason, he doesn't see Dane Belton. And Dane Belton just runs in front of Wan'Dale, catches the ball and runs it in what would be for a touchdown. And there's a couple of plays I was like, he's going to get killed. Win or lose, the game day football is, win or lose, the football's back. What's going on with your snacks of choice for the game today? I'm making boyoki style right now. And my snacks are that's gonna be my lunch. My snacks are gonna be I got the popcorn machine out. What I like to do is I like to make the popcorn, and we have one of those movie popcorn machines that, the bucket in the middle and everything. So I get snow caps. And then what I do is I get the popcorn, get the butter, get everything going, get it in the big bucket, and then I take the snow caps and I just pour it all over the place. So I got the snow caps, got the popcorn, I got the beer. I got the beer on tap. I was drinking too many rums and cokes the last couple of days, so I'm going to have to switch to beer. So I got the beer on tap. So I'm excited, man. This is one of these days. I got the Giants at 1 and Green Bay at 425. This is like if the Knicks were playing, this is heaven. Slayton can have some butterfingers at times. Yeah, he does. A couple times. Dan the Man says half of week 1 is going to be within divisional. I like having divisional games early. And I understand why they put a lot of divisional games late, because they want to create that drama. They want to create that viewership. But I like having some of your games. I like having half your games early and then half your games late. Nothing in the middle. I want to start out and see what I have. And then I want to turn around and finish out strong by playing divisional opponents. Philly contained Barkley. Couldn't do it if we didn't give him up. You're right. Trenton says Giants will win today. I hope so, Trenton. I'm watching the game with my Giant fan best friend later. Let's go Big Blue. Eric says, now we got Eric's talking to Todd. Matthew says, I have a feeling Jaden Daniels is going to have a sophomore slump. Giants have a chance today. Of course the Giants have a chance today. Of course they do. Everyone has a chance every Sunday.
Telling me there's a chance. Yeah!
There's always a chance. Call up Gruden. Listen, I'm waiting for John Gruden to get a job. I'm waiting. Matthew says, I'm not saying Daniel. No, I know you're not saying he's bad. I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. We have to be competitive today if this game is even close or even over at, because it might be over halftime. Jay, let's see. Man, I love Chucky as a head coach. I love Chucky as a head coach too, even though when I was with Chucky, we went 7-9 and 6-10. Jay Ferris says we'll be winning at halftime. Jaden breaks a long touchdown around the third and everything and forever in the fourth. We're going to talk about who I think is going to win this game. We're not going to talk about it now. But like I said, if you go on the mighty FanDuel, FanDuel.com, #1 sports book in America, then you're going to want to see this. You're going to want to have it done. You're going to want to do the things that you can do. I don't have my glasses on. I got to read something. Just run at the ends, beat the Giants, and attack banks. That's what you're going to have to do. And you're going to, if like I said, I'm going to, if it's the first game of the season, I'm going to feel everyone out.
That's what she said.
I'm going to wait and see what happens here. We got a big old gifted give 5 gifts to the New York Giants Trade Tech online Big Blue membership. Everyone thank Big Don for giving away those memberships. Get all your videos early. Do all that fun stuff. That's what we're waiting for. You know what I've been waiting for? I've been waiting for the Giants to find a head coach. And sometimes finding a head coach is like finding a candidate. If you're a manager, you got a company, you need to find a candidate. Sometimes it's not finding a needle in a haystack, it's finding a needle in a needle of haystacks. That's why there's not enough candidates, because you know where you got to go? You got to go to ZipRecruiter. You got to go to ZipRecruiter.com right now. They have smart technology that identifies the top talent for your roles quickly. You just do what you need to do. You pop in your stuff. You pop in the candidates you're looking for. An old ZipRecruiter. Oh, let's see here. You know, that let them connect you to the top candidate. So if the Giants need a head coach, know where I'm going? I'm going to go to ZipRecruiter. Use ZipRecruiter.com right now. And you have the invite to apply message to personally reach out to your favorite candidates and encourage them to apply sooner. So ditch the hiring websites. Go to ZipRecruiter.com is what you're looking for, that needle in a haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post with ZipRecruiter.com find their candidates quickly within the first few days. Try it for free with the exclusive web offer. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. I'm going to say it one time because third time is the charm. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter is the smart way to hire. Oh, sometimes, man, you know what? Sometimes, like they said, you got to find the right candidate. And like I said, I really do hope that the Giants don't need ZipRecruiter. But if we did, I gave out the offer code so the Giants can go and apply for what they need to apply. Greg says 93 bodies, 40 likes. The button must be broke. I didn't even know we had 93, only 40 likes. And my thing, we have 100 and something and 8 likes. I never hit Greg, we got 53 likes. Come on, man. We got 53 likes. Hit that like button. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. I always appreciate everyone. Let's go. Joe says, let's go, Big Blue. Jay says, I am ready for the game, Tim, but I am not ready for, you know what I mean? Go Giants, I guess. It's that trepidation. And I understand the trepidation of Giant fans. I've been a Giant fan since 1976. I opened the freaking Meadowlands. I opened MetLife. I've seen 86. I saw 90. I was at 2000. I was at 86 and 2000. I'm not going to talk about the 2000 in Tampa. Saw 2007. Saw 2011. Watched the likes of Scott Bruner, Jeff Rutledge, Phil Simms, you know, Eli Manning, Kent Grand, Danny Cannell, Dave Brown, Kurt Warner, you know, Kerry Collins. We've seen it all. But as Giant fans, we're always ready, and we're always ready for the next season. We just have to make sure that we're looking at this the right way. That's what kind of we have to make sure we're looking at. We have to go from there. Malik is Chase light. I don't know if he's Chase light. I'm not comparing Malik Neighbors to anyone in his second season yet, because that's not fair to Malik, because you don't want him to be the second Chase. You want him to be the first Malik. So we have to wait and see, Greg. Malik is the best wide receiver in the division, but we also have the worst wide receiving course in the division. I think that until Malik, because if you're looking at, that's tough. That's tough because you're discrediting A.J. Brown and C.D. Lamb. Terry McLaurin's an icon in Washington, but he's not on the same level as Malik Neighbors. But A.J. Brown and C.D. Lamb are. They're both game-changing wide receivers who have done it longer and have done it better at times. But Malik Neighbors has only got one season under his belt, so we have to kind of wait and see. We got Big James giving out the salutes to everyone. Denny says, Poyagi Sal, you know I'm down for the Spanish food. Serve me a plate, my guy. Of course, man. I've been cooking since this. I got up early this morning because I knew I had to stream. I got up early this morning to cook. So I'm there, man. I'm there, man. I'm actually making fresh tostones. I got that rolling. You know, I got the press out. I got everything go. It is pollo tropical. I am all ready. Hit that like button. It says everyone. Stu says hit it. Joe says we got Joe. Let's say I got Jay. What we got here? Billy says Slayton drops are just a reminder that he was a 5th round pick. He still had a career of nothing but overachieving for his draft stock. There's been plenty of 5th round picks that have overachieved. And I don't think Darius Slayton's overachieved. I think Darius Slayton is what he is. He's a 700-yard wide receiver who is a 3 on a good team. He is a third wide receiver on a good team. He's a guy that's best year was 770 yards back in 2023. People forget he got benched in 2021 for almost for the majority of the season. And he is a guy that is a speedster. He had 8 touchdowns in 19. And he is a guy that's never cracked over 700 yards, but it's gonna give you the big play, but he is going to be maddening because we've seen it with Daniel Jones. And like I said, Darius Slayton was the scapegoat for every Daniel Jones apologist. Well, if Slayton would have held on to that ball, I don't want to break the news to people because some people may not understand this or know this. Drops happen in football. It's kind of the thing. It happens. You go over it, you get over it, and you go to the next play. Gee, man, let's go. You want Malik to be Malik. That's what I want Malik to be. I don't want Malik to be I don't want him to be Chase. I don't want him to be CeeDee Lamb. I don't want him to be Eddie. I don't want him to be Odell Beckham. I want him to be Malik Neighbors. That's what I want him to be. I always hate when people compare people to other players. It's like, no, I don't want this. I don't want the second coming of Patrick Mahomes. I want the first coming of Jackson Dart.
That's what she said.
Sorry. Terry is better than Slayton. Terry McLaurin is a number one. I don't think Terry McLaurin gets enough credit, but Terry McLaurin is a number one wide receiver. Terry McLaurin is one of those under the radar guys that when you play him, you're kind of like, damn, where the fuck did he come from? This is a guy that had 5,000 yard seasons in a row since 2019. He's a guy that averages 13.9 yards a reception. And this guy only gives you, on average 7 touchdowns a year. Last year with a rookie quarterback, he had 82 receptions for 1,096 yards. Year before that, again, with no quarterback, he had 1,000 yard receiving. Year before that, again, with no quarterback, he had 1,191 yards, 15 touchdowns, 15 yards reception and 5 touchdowns. He is a guy that is a professional wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb game change for the Lost Dallas. So yeah, that happens. And then some people are going to tell you then when you say that is Malik Neighbors cost us that other game last year when he couldn't bring in that out of bounds sideline pass or when he had the drop. So you got to look at it both ways, Robert. I agree. The Giant fans have good potential, but the other teams in the division have proved to be better than on their whiteouts. Yeah. I mean, Giants, like I said, the Giants have a good to great player in Malik Neighbors. Why do we have to worry? And I'm not saying you, LeVar, or anyone else, but why do fans have to worry about how they compare to other people in the division? I don't care that they compare to the people in the division because, like I said, I want the first one of Malik. I want people 10 years down the road going, he's going to be the next Malik Neighbors. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Do it for FanDuel. Do it for ZipRecruiter. Monday, we couldn't do it today. Monday, though, because I was lazy and I didn't set up the SIM card. My wife told me the other day. She goes, you don't have to be painfully honest. You could just tell people, like you make up a little white lie and say to people, no, this happened. Well, we're going to have a call-in line today. I had to find the other phone. I have like 4 phones. I use them all for different businesses. I had to find the other phone. I found the phone and I put it on the charger and I forgot about it. And then I got up late because I was drinking last night and I got up late and I never activated the SIM card on the phone. So I couldn't do the call in because of the fact that I didn't activate the SIM card. So Monday, the after show at 11, we are going to have the call-in line. So you're going to be able to call in since a lot of people are saying they want to talk, but they don't have StreamYard or they, so what you're going to be able to do now, I'm going to put out this number. I figured out you're going to private message me. I'm going to give you the number and then you can call in and it's going to be like the radio. We're going to talk New York Giants, but that's going to start tomorrow. What are we at here? Out of curiosity, thank you for the super chat. Out of the curiosity, why do we keep Andrew Thomas if he's so injury prone? I feel like he's been injured every season. Well, Keith, I'm going to tell you something, my friend. He has been. He has been. But at 26 years old, he is probably one of the best left tackles in the league. And yeah, that's why we keep him. We hope there's to me. Here's the thing. There's a difference between injury prone and injured, and just injured. Sometimes injuries are just a run of bad luck. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes they reach a point in your career. Sometimes it's early where you have the string of bad luck with injuries that there's things that are just not within your control. So I don't know if he's injury prone or just been unlucky with a series of injuries. When I played, I was what they referred to as injury prone. I was hurt. Something was falling off every week. But I was a moron, and back in the late 80s and the early 90s, they just told you, rub some dirt on it and get back in the game. There is a difference between being hurt and being injured. You used to always hear that. But I was always injured. I was injury prone. I said it all the time. You hit me the wrong way, something would snap off. Thank God they had duct tape. So I don't know if Andrew Thomas yet is injury prone or just having a bad luck of injuries, because he wasn't injury prone in college. It didn't look like he was injury prone in high school. So, I mean, yeah, you got to kind of look at it that way. But when he is on the field, he is probably the best left tackle in the entire league. The problem is, the best ability is availability. So we have to we got to kind of wait and see where we go with that. So I'm not giving up. You can't give up. We also just we restructured, of course. Oh God. Oh, I almost had an aneurysm the other day. I've been trying more and more to stay off Giant Twitter.
Stupid Giant Twitter post.
This is going to go out to the likes of Fireside Giants, who said that the New York Giants restructured the contract of Andrew Thomas, and I quote, so they can go out and get a defensive lineman or a corner. I guess it had nothing to do that the Giants were $9 million over the cap and needed to clear cap space by 8:20 on Thursday. If you're going to be stupid, do it. If you're going to be stupid. Ryan says 116 minutes. What's 116 minutes, Ryan? I don't know what that is, but thank you. I agree. LeVar says the Giants have good potential, but other teams in the division are we got the chat. Rip David Johnson. Yeah, I saw David Johnson passed away. Giant Met manager, Dodger manager, Cincinnati Red manager, Baltimore Orioles manager. Of course, known the best for that 86 team. Should have won in 88, but known for that 86 New York Met team. Also, he was the last out of the Giants, the Mets 69 season, World Series season. He was the last out. Good second baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. It was a sad day in reference to that. AJ Brown says Big James is the best wide receiver in the division. Man was straight decoy on Thursday and still impacted the game. You're right. You're not wrong, Big James. What's up, Big James? Danny Dead says first week 1, I don't have to watch Daniel Jones. Let's go fucking Giants. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to my man and your man, Carl Anthony in Hall of Fame. Carmelo Anthony. I'm gonna keep him with Carmelo Anthony. Melo. You got to remember, Melo was not just a Knick hero. Melo was upstate New York hero in Syracuse. Melo was the man. Melo was one of my favorite out of even what he did and what he didn't do for the Knicks. He was still one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, you got to rank my favorite players. I mean, I've always been, there's different players I like for different reasons, but star wise, my first love player star wise as a kid was Bernard King. I was there for the Christmas 50. And then I ran into then Patrick Ewing, then Melo. And then I liked ancillary players, of course, because I just liked the way they played with Mark Jackson, Charles Oakley, and Anthony Mason. But Melo was the New York man. Pickens is nice too. You're right. Kevin, peace, hope, ball as well. Everything's doing good. Damn, you made it into the Hall of Fame without playing defense at all? Who made it into the Hall of Fame without playing defense at all? We're going to give you a 2 for 2. Says I like Andrew Thomas, has a hypernetic name as Andrew Stakes. He needs a hyperbolic chamber. That's what he needs. Big Don says Mr. Mello 3-1. I knew Big Don was going to come out. I was talking to James about the college championship. Mr. 315. The Mellow. Everyone's got to love it. I love the Mellow. Like I said, me and them, I love the Mellow. Brownie says, can take over a year to recover from. Like, yeah, I know it's a brutal injury, but this is funny, Brownie, that you bring this up. Everyone heals differently. And this is a great point. Everyone heals differently. To your point, it could take over a year to recover from the surgery. Theo Johnson did it in less time, but Theo Johnson plays a different position, and Theo Johnson is probably not as heavy as Andrew Thomas because weight does affect the return from your injury. That being smart, if he truly needs some more time, give him the time he needs. I agree. It is career threat. You're right. We got a 2 for 2. It is career threatening. And you're right. Why would you got a guy who's just going into the meat of his new contract? Why would you want to jeopardize? And I loved it because he wasn't really doing anything on the practice field. I posted videos of it. He wasn't really doing anything. And then people were like, well, he's going to play. I'm like, no, he's not going to play. But I got to give Brownie this.
2 in the box. Ready to go.
We be fast and
They be slow.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, I'm like working the soundboard today. It's one of those things like the Giants. I've been in preseason this whole time. We are only a couple hours from kicking this freaking season off. Still haven't given my final score or prediction. Mr. Belford is reporting for doing his Johnny Wishbone. What's up, Mr. Belford? But like I said, if I am a New York Giant fan, or if I'm an NFL fan and I go on FanDuel and I see the Giants sitting there at 6.5-point dogs, I'm taking the Giants. I'm taking the Giants in the 6.5. 100%. Because of the fact that I think this is going to be a field goal game. I think this is going to be one of those games. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I do think one team, and I'm not saying who yet because I'm building up suspense. I'm not saying who yet, but I do think there is going to be a situation where this goes back and forth. And I do think that one team is going to take a big lead in the beginning, but then the other team's going to come back. Mr. Belford, of course.
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone and I come running. Lots and biddle. It's like kibbles and bits, but different. Excuse me. Sorry to bother you.
Sorry, usually we don't play the whole thing, but I do enjoy the whole thing. Let's see here. Where were we? I got distracted. Why is this? I knocked you out of here. Banned. You're banned. You NFL game bot. Kevin says, do you think the Giants can put up more than 19.5 points or under 19.5 points? Kevin, I'm going to tell you this right today or just in season in general. Because yes, I do think they could put up 19 points. I think if the Giants offense is run correctly, and that is going to be a big if for this team. But I do think if the Giants offense is run correctly, I do think the Giants could put up 22 points a game. So I'm going to say over on that score. Robert says, what did he do for New York, James? He forced trade in New York, gutted the team. He also won one playoff series. His time here was not successful. Yes, success should always be measured by championships. In reference to Carmelo Anthony. I don't want to get too deep into Carmelo, but yeah, success should always be remembered by championships. But Carmelo was an all-star MVP type presence for New York. We've told the story about Carmelo Anthony. We told the story about Melo all the time. Yes, he forced his way out of Denver. gutted this team. This team, if you would have went out and got Melo and just waited by the next season, this team would have been a championship caliber team for years, but they did gut the team to get him. Melo forced to trade out of Denver because the change of the CBA meant that he would have got less money the next season with the new CBA than he would if he got traded in season that year. So you're 100% right. But he was an all-star presence. He was, and you got to remember, you had a hard time, the Knicks had a hard time putting people around him, but he is a guy that was, I would say, in parts of his Knick tenure, he was a guy that was a top 3 player in the league. So, I mean, you kind of have to look at it that way. He was a top 3 player in the league. What do we got here? Let's see here. Mr. Belfort, we got them. I met Melo at a club in DC with my cousin, and they were smoking the good old hip-hop lettuce. We've told the story many times before that I spent a night with John Starks, Charles Oakley, and Patrick Ewing after a game in New York. And like I said, I'm going to have to wait. One day I will tell the full story about that night, but we're never going to talk about that night. We don't talk about that night. James says, I'm hopeful that we do better than last year. I really do. I do too. And like I said, we're going to get into a minute. Michael, give me a good parlay, Tim. I'm not into betting, so I can't give you a good parlay. Just take the Knicks. Take the Knicks in 6.5. I'll take the Knicks. Take the Knicks every time. Take the Giants in the 6.5. I'm not good at the parlays. I know. I keep block. I got him. I did the. You didn't even see that one coming, did you? Old. That's right. Yeah, Mr. Belver says, I don't not question his town Hall of Fame. I just don't think he was a great Knick. He was a great Knick. He was a great Knick. I'm going to put the link in the chat for a moment because I want to hear from you. That's why we're going to have the phone line starting on Monday unless I get lazy and decide not to do it, or if the Giants lose and I get pissed off. And if I get pissed off and just don't want to do it. So got to put the link in the chat here if anyone wants to come. If you want to come on a minute, because in a couple of minutes, I'm going to give my prediction of this game. I'm going to give this prediction. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for you to go to FanDuel.com. And if you're looking for a job, go to ZipRecruiter.com. Act now on ZipRecruiter.com right now. We've talked about it before. For free with an exclusive web offer. Give it a try. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Give it a shot. Just throwing that out there. But at the end of the day, that we have a 1:00 start. This is the kickoff to the season. This is the moment, and I'm not going to say the pinnacle of the Giants season, but this is the moment that we have to finally. You're in year 4. You're in year 4. This is it. You're in year 4 of this fiasco, this mess. And here's the problem with all that. What are the Giants going to be? There is a potential for Joe Shane's first 2 draft classes in 2 years to be completely off this roster. But we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the 22 draft picks, which was the building block. We don't want to talk the $40 million contract you gave Dan Jones. We don't want to talk about letting Barkley walk for nothing. We don't want to talk about Xavier Kidding walking for nothing. We don't want to talk about benching Daniel Jones and then getting rid of him. We don't want to talk about 7-2, 2-5-1, 6-11, then 3 wins. We don't want to talk about any of that. We're going to talk about Washington. We're going to talk about a team that, if you take a look on paper, Washington should win this game. Not going to say they should win this game handily, but they have a rebuilt offensive line, or I should say improved offensive line. They have a full year with Marcus Lattimore. They have an improved secondary. They have improved wide receiver core. You can say that they took a little bit of a hit in the running back game, but Austin Eckler is a professional running back. You have a quarterback that you hope does not go to the next level. You have a quarterback you hope that has that sophomore slump. But the Giants, like I said, you have a good quality defense. You have a good head coach. So this is a great test for the Giants in week 1. Do you want this to be the test for the Giants in week 1? No, we don't want this to be the test for the Giants in week 1. Where's Dom? Hold on. I'm going to see if Dom's around. I'm going to see if Dom and Palmer's around. Hold on a minute. Where do we go, my lovely? Where's my WhatsApp? Hold on a minute. I want to see if Dom's around. Hold on. I haven't talked to Dom in a while. So looking at this, looking at everything that's going on, this is an opportunity for the Giants to prove that they have improved. To prove what now, here's the thing that concerns me, because we're not hitting the like button. That does concern me. Here's the thing that concerns me a little tiny bit. Outside of Bo, you really did not improve your offensive line prowess. Outside of, well, really, you didn't do anything in the wide receiver core. You did nothing in the wide receiver core to fill me with more confidence. We're gonna drop in. Now, of course, we got to drop him in because it's just one of those days. I spent an hour and 40 minutes talking to this guy on the phone the other day about nothing. I love it. My wife goes to me, "What are you guys talking about?" I was like, "What did you talk about? You're on the phone for almost 2 hours. What are we talking about?" I don't know. At one point in time, we were talking about gummies for like 40 minutes. And the other time we were talking about socks, I think. I don't know. It's the venerable, the one and the only. What are you drinking? Coors Light? That's early.
It's after 11 on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, shit, it is after 11. I don't know. I got up late.
It's brunch time.
It is brunch time. And you have the mellow, you have the white Vic, you have the Mets hat and the Giants. You have covered all bases here against Washington. Jay says, I'm going to use ZipRecruiter to hire the king of running laps. I'm sure Joe Judge will get my cardio game into a higher standard. ZipRecruiter.com. I know it's only big time here. James, Washington, 1 o'clock. Jaden Daniels, improved offensive line, improved wide receiver core. New York Giants. You take a look at this roster. They have not. They have not made the massive moves and changes that you would have thought that the team that won 3 games would have done going into the 2025 season. A lot of it was predicated on salary cap issues, as always. But what are you looking at today for the New York Giants? What are you looking for against the Washington Commanders?
Well, number one, I'm looking for competent, not great, but competent quarterback play, which you said earlier, and everybody in the chat, salute chat, what up? Game 1, here we go. But competent quarterback play, which that alone by itself is going to make this season a lot more enjoyable and watchable game by game. We have a guy in there who's not in his prime, but again, that guy played in 2 Super Bowls, won one of them, and is a guy that we believe that his decision making is going to be better than the guy we had to watch for half a decade. So, and based off that, which I was texting you, the Dallas Philly game, and what I saw, I was a little inspired by Dallas. So I'm feeling like, you know what? Game 1, let's go in there and make some noise.
But the question is Russell Wilson Dak Prescott?
No. We have to give Dakota, because that's what his mama named him, Dakota. We have to give Dakota some credit. He played really good in that game. He didn't have Herbert Duck numbers, but he played pretty good.
No,
he
did throw for over 300 yards. He did, like I said, without that drop by CeeDee Lamb. I mean, we're talking a different thing. We're talking a different story here.
Yeah, so, and again, I'm sure the incident before the first offensive snap of the game played a part in that. But hey,
a little bit.
That's a part of the game.
They always say the last person that throws the punch always gets caught. So just like this, the last person that spits always gets caught.
Oh, did you see, if y'all watched the game in Brazil? Kelsey, who's always starting stuff. He's starting to get on my nerves. Him and his future wife. Kelsey started something with one of the linemen. The guy bear-pawed him back. I thought he was going to get tossed out the game, but
Nothing.
That was weird.
Nothing. But what? All right. Enough about Dak.
Yeah.
What do you think the Giants are going to do? Spitgate. I love that. Spitgate. There was a second spitter on the grassy knoll. What do you think the Giants are? Well, we're going to start with the offense. What do you think the Giants are going to do against this Commander defense, which is a veteran defense? It's going to have a full year of Marcus Lattimore. Does it have the pass rush it had a few years ago? No, but you do have the likes of Von Miller. You do have some people that can have the professionalism to go up against an interesting Giant offensive line to get to the quarterback. What are you thinking? Who's advantage whom? Washington defense, Giant offense. Who's the advantage go to?
Well, you know what? For the first game, I would like to think the edge goes to us because they don't know what they're going to see. This is technically somewhat of the same system, but we have new players, new quarterback. We are probably going to look different than we have the last 4 or 5 years. So I would like to think the edge goes to us because I think what Daboll is going to do in Kafka, since he's going to be calling some plays, I think we are going to air it out more than we've seen, which is not saying much, but we are going to air it out. Russell Wilson likes to take his deep shots. We may even see Hyatt get a deep shot down the field, God forbid. But I think we are going to take some deep shots, trying to open up the field. Tracy, I like Tracy. I'm thinking he's going to have a good game today. The one question mark, which you touched on earlier, because I don't even know what we're going to get, is from the tight end position. If we can stretch the field where we're opening up, taking deep shots with Neighbors, even my boy Slayton and Hyatt, running the ball well, hopefully with Tracy, tossing some Singletary and Scat. But that should leave the middle of the field. You could attack that with Papa Smurf and Theo. So, I'm expecting to see some offense today and actually score some points. I think we do have the slight edge just because we're not the same team all the way we were the last few times we've played Washington. So
here's the thing, though. You bring this up about the quarterback change. There has been for 5 years. There's been a fly in the ointment. There's a welcome to the party, pal. There's been a guy that has been a thorn in Washington's side for 5 years. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh,
Daniel Jones.
Oh yes, that was the TV.
Daniel Jones had Washington's number. Daniel Jones 3-5-1 against the Commanders had Washington's number. So it's not like the quarterback. I mean, it's not like there was ever really a deficiency ever since even his rookie season at quarterback play against the Commanders. Now, this is a different story. And we saw the different story last year with different quarterbacks against the Commanders. And what happened? We lost both of those games. We were 0-2 in the division.
Yes. But you brought up a good point earlier, and hopefully this adds some motivation for our boy Leak. But he had a big drop in a game against Washington. He had a big drop. Now, if I'm a guy, I'm a young player, I'm coming in, I'm still trying to establish myself. I had a great first, year. I want to come back. I'm going to remember that. And hopefully he's even more motivated today, to come out and redeem himself from that last year. So I'm counting on that too.
I love this from Jay. Going on FanDuel and betting my house on Moonballs, the Papa Smurf. So Jay, let me know what town you live in so I can find you the nearest homeless shelter. Because I would not bet on that. I know you're being sarcastic, but I would not bet on that. I would not bet on that whatsoever.
Moonballs, the Papa Smurf.
This is a good question. Dart gonna get some plays today?
No. I don't go. No.
There has been rumors and speculation and talk that the Giants have installed plays for Jackson Dart for this game.
I saw that. I heard you mention it, but first game of the year. I mean, Russell Wilson is already on a short leash. We got to be real. It's not as short as the Kurt Warner with Eli. That was really short. This is a little bit longer, but it's
not really. The Giants were set. It was 13 games before they went to.
It was 13. Okay. So the fact that we put Dart at number 2, it is shortening the leash on Wilson. But at the same time, the first game, this guy is a veteran. You know, he does warrant some respect. I don't think you're gonna throw in the rookie guy for some play. Again, Dart is not White Vic. He is not. He is not. Who's the guy on the Saints? Taysom Hill. He is not. He is not the guy. What packages are you going to bring him in to scramble? I don't want to see that. The kid needs to learn how to slide as it is. So I don't want him to come in a play where it's like he's going to be supercharged. I'm only going to get to this one game. I got to make an impact. He's going to go out there, try to make a play, not slide and get hurt. I don't want that for him. You know, again, Dart is our future. Wilson is the present right now for today. They need to focus on Wilson, what he can do with his skill set. Throwing Dart out there for a play or two, that just seems real gimmicky and stuff we've done in the past. I don't want to see that.
I've said this before. It's the Giants with a rhythm pass. You have a rhythm passing quarterback in Russell Wilson. Do you really want to break the continuity of your offense because he is a rhythm passer? Do you want to break the continuity of this offense to bring in Jackson Dart for a play that could potentially be a negative play? And what is that going to do to the Giants if all of a sudden you turn around and play this kid and he throws an interception or fumbles or does something that a rookie may do? This is the first game of the season. It's your first game of the season, divisional game. You can't be behind the 8 ball going into Dallas, losing this type of game let's just say, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say it happens. You lose this game on a gimmick play because you throw in Jackson Dart.
And it doesn't make sense to throw a guy out there who's a rookie who he has not played against this type of speed. The painters at Furman did not have this kind of speed. Even the old guys in Bobby Wags, who's still pretty damn good linebacker. But
Bobby Wags is a good linebacker at his advanced
age.
You know,
so you want to tell me in the middle of the second quarter, you're going to bring Dart out there for a play? Bobby's going to be sitting over there going, did they just bring the Dart in? Okay, let's go. Full on blitz. You really want that? You want to put that kid in that position? That's not fair to Dart. It's really not.
It's not fair to Dart, and it's not fair. I love what people hate, the hate of the age of Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner had 183 tackles in 2023, had 132 tackles last year as well, still with 3 sacks. He is a guy that has a total of 1,800 tackles for his entire career. He's still an NFL player. He's a guy that when he got dropped by the Saints, I said the Giants should have picked up, but he went to the Rams. And I understand why he went to the Rams, because I think he won a Super Bowl that year. But he is a guy that is a professional player. We got Blackbird biting. Blackbird, of course, is heading to the stadium right as we speak. Chris, for the love of MMA, checking in, holding up the roll up in Albany. Let's go, Big Blue. Smash the like button for. Thank you, Chris. I always appreciate that. Make sure you're hitting this like button. I'm buying time here a little bit because Dominic Palmer may be coming on as well. I'm seeing the Giants. If I have to pick an advantage, I'm calling it even. I'm calling the Giant offense versus the Commanders defense as a push because of the fact that I think that both of these teams' strengths play into some of their weaknesses, the other team's weaknesses. And I think that it kind of equals out because it's not completely each side is not completely deficient, but each team has a weakness which the other team can exploit, and each team has a weakness that the players on the other team can exploit. So I'm taking, and the Giant offensive line we have to be concerned about. If you're starting Hubbard, you're starting Bo, you still got JMS. I just think that, to your point, the quarterback play is going to have to be what makes the difference. But the Giants for 5 years were 5-3-1 with Daniel Jones under center against the Commanders. And his best games have been against Washington. So the question, how are you popping on twice? Oh, James got kicked out. I was like, hold on, let's see. Can I add? Oh, here we go. I love this.
Oh, look at that.
I love this. We brought in another guest. It's James
my
Williams.
ghost.
alter ego. It's the James Williams effect. Oh, damn it! It got cut off.
Crazy.
It got cut off because I was going to bring in the other guest. I was going to bring in the other guest when we got cut off. But the strengths are
funny.
Each team can take advantage of the other team's weaknesses. Why I'm going with a push. Why I'm going with a push offensively. I do think the Giants will have more of a cerebral attack against Washington. I do think you need to control the clock. You need to, like I said, you were 16th in the league last year in time of possession. The Giants were, but we were 31st in points. It's you don't have to be a Sigma black belt to understand Six Sigma black belt to understand that if you're 16th in time of possession and 31st in points, where the problem lies, which is scoring scoring. So
finishing the deal.
You only score 14 points. If the Giants can up that to, let's say, a respectable 21 points, I think that the Giants have a chance to beat this Washington defense. Now let's go reverse. Let's go Washington offense versus Giant defense. Who has the advantage and why?
Woo.
You're going first.
You know what? We have to be fair. We have improved. We got new weapons, but Jaden Daniels is the X factor. His play, the fact that he could scramble, he has an arm, his scramble ability could be the thing that neutralizes our greatest threat on the defense, which is rushing the quarterback. So it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to come down to very simple thing, but it's the biggest thing in rushing the quarterback. Maybe you can get there to him, but can you make the tackle to bring him down?
Can you finish?
Can you actually, when you get in the backfield, can you finish? Can you wrap up? Can you, when you put a hand on him, is that hand going to hold him back or at least slow him down so somebody else can come finish him off? I think that's going to be the key. Like, not just getting there, but like you said with the scoring on the defense, finishing the play, finish the tackle, finish the sack, finish the tackle for loss. Those are going to be the key things to me, but we definitely upgraded, and I'm excited, but I do think Jaden Daniels, much like we have the edge where, they don't know what we're really going to do on offense. I think they have the edge with Jaden Daniels against our defense, at least before a snap is played, just looking at it on paper, just because of the quarterback, to me.
So
slight edge.
Who are you giving? So you're giving a slight edge to Washington's offense.
To Washington offense, mainly because of the quarterback and his ability to, make plays off the cuff and scramble and his arm talent. So slight edge to their offense.
I'm giving the edge to the Giant defense. And there is a reason and rationale for that. We know what Washington's offense is. We know that they traded their best running back. They're going to rely on Austin Eckler and a rookie. That we know what they can do with Terry McLaurin. We've seen what Jaden Daniels can do. We have no idea with the Giant defense. No one's seen a full complement of the Giant defense. No one has a complete. This is why this season, which scares the hell out of me. This is why this season, in some ways, is going to rely on Shane Bowen, because you have a mixture of talent in reference to Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter that do not fit. If you look at this from a actual defensive standpoint and take off your Giant hat, 3 players out of 11, which have an identical skill set, cannot be on the field at the same time for an extended period of time. Because there is, like I said, if I am a professional offensive coordinator, I'm never saying that I am one, but if I am a professional offensive coordinator, I see 3 of these guys on the field, I'm going to think, now they're going to try to mix it up. I'm going to think they're going to be rushing. Bowen may come in and try to drop someone in coverage, But then if you drop someone in coverage, and I'm a smart NFL professional quarterback, and I see you drop someone in coverage, I know, especially if against a tight end or a running back, I know I have an advantage even in Zach Ertz and his advanced age of 497 years old. I know I have an advantage against any of those players in coverage. People talked about it before. Brian Burns is going to be all over the field. He only played 26 snaps off the line last year. There is a reason, because he's not good in coverage. He's not good as a linebacker. Same thing with Kayvon Thibodeaux. He's not good in coverage. He's not good in a linebacker. Brian Burns, 25.9% missed tackle percentage his second season as an off-the-ball linebacker, which was one of the reasons why they moved him to defensive end outside of the losing 2 players to the draft. So if I'm a smart offensive coordinator, I see these 3 guys on the field, I'm attacking, I'm running the ball. But Washington is yet to see this. The league has not seen this. So we don't know what this mixture is going to be. And we don't know how a 3-man speed undersized rush is going to work against a pretty good offensive line that went out and got Larry Tunstall and also drafted another guy in the first round. But they always say this. Defenses should have an advantage over offenses during the first couple of weeks. Because offenses, like we discussed with the Giants, is a rhythm offense. And rhythm takes timing. Timing takes experience. Experience takes the ability of multiple plays with the same players. Defense, all you're doing is going forward and attacking. So the defense should have an advantage, and a defense that no one has ever seen. If you are a smart defensive coordinator, and I do use air quotes, smart defensive coordinator, you should be able to take advantage of that. Now, the question is going to be, is Paulson Adebo, Banks, and the combination of Banks and Flott going to be able to hold up against McLaurin, Brown, and Deebo Samuels? Is Holland going to be the guy that he was 2 years ago, not the guy he was last year, where most player personnel guys in the league will tell you he took a huge drop in play, that almost what they refer to as, one scout referred to as a spectacular drop in play, that he wasn't even the same player they saw 2 years ago. So the question is going to be, can that fix? But I think that the Giants, with an unknown quantity in reference to the rush and an unknown just in general, should be able to take advantage using a speed rush against the line, unless we over pursue, over commit, and Jaden Daniels pulls a Daniel Jones, because this is one of the things that Jason Garrett was brilliant with. All those big runs from Daniel Jones were not scrambles. They were design runs by Jason Garrett to take advantage of the over-aggressiveness of Washington and Philadelphia's defenses. So if the Giants can maintain their assignments, hold their edge, and attack the quarterback, which should limit the time that Jaden Daniels has to throw, I think the Giants should have an advantage over the Washington Commanders defensively.
Okay. I like that. I am worried about the secondary.
James liked it, so everyone hit the like button. James liked it. Can the Giants run, says Jay Snow, the ball with this offensive line? I don't know. We're going to find out real soon. Daniels is capable of making the big plays with the arm and the legs. He's going to be tough. He's going to be tough to contain. And for the love of God, do not shadow Jaden. I keep seeing this on Twitter, and it's usually the moron tennis players that have no idea about sports. Do not shadow Jaden Daniels with Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter is not known for making open field tackles. He's not known for go back to watch this Penn State film. He's not known for making tackles in space. He's also not a guy that we've seen yet that knows how to keep his head on a swivel, not get laid out by a tight end. So for the love of God, don't take one of your best skill set players that can rush the quarterback and make him a spy, because then you're playing 10 on 11. For the love of God, don't do that. Oh man, we are bot happy today. I keep blocking them; they keep coming back.
They love you today.
We are the bot today. We are the bot central. All right, James. We got 150 something people still watching. I want people right now to put. We are going to be giving away, like we do every year. We did not give away any rings last year because no one predicted the score right. One person was off by a point. And we tried to give him the win, but he graciously said no. Of course, we're going to be giving away, like we do every week, the Eli Manning replica Super Bowl ring. I'm going to throw in a 100th anniversary coin because I only have like 80. So I'm going to throw in it's
a doubloon.
Give your score right now. I want the score and who's going to win. Because a lot of people used to give me the score last year, but they never said who was going to win. So give us a score and who's going to win.
Ooh.
James, I'm going to start with you while we're going to get the scores in here. James, you are eligible for the Eli Manning replica Super Bowl ring. You already have one, though.
I do.
So
and I have a doubloon. I have 5 of them.
I will give you a Phil Simms ring if you win. A Phil Simms replica.
Big Phil.
I will give you a big
Philly blunt like that.
The first one we got Jay in the first quarter, but I want James Williams. What is the score for the New York Football Giants against the Washington Commanders? 1 o'clock start.
Well, I'm going to go 28-24. Giants, let's go.
28-24.
Let's go.
Giants.
Let's go.
Let's hold on. Give us your score. Win the Eli Manning. It's the professionalism replica Super Bowl ring. Super Bowl ring. You know, I should just have this already like pre-done, but you know what? There we go. So what was your score? I'm sorry, 28 what?
28-24 G-Men. Let's go.
28-24 G. Mr. Weaver got my pumpkin spice coffee, got the best stream on YouTube. We need the Giants dub. If the Giants are number 2 wide receiver, number 1 quarterback, and a few good plays, offensive lineman, watch Giants might have to draft a left tackle. Yeah, we can't draft Arch Manning because he's got a hurt shoulder. Did anyone else notice that? Did anyone else notice that or see that? I'm going to get to the scores in a minute. Did anyone else notice that or see that? This guy was throwing in pain yesterday, even in the win. I watched it.
Yeah, it looked weird. If you watch this,
it's like this guy's fucking hurt. Take him out.
He's grimacing a little bit.
And like Grimace, and yes, pumpkin spice coffee is out today for Dunkin' Donuts. Hopefully the pumpkin spice munchkins come out soon. The wife, I think, who's at church, should be stopping at Dunkin' Donuts to get some of that pumpkin spice coffee because we all know what happened with the Black Rifle. Black Rifle, we got 2 bags of Black Rifle coffee, opened it up, went to smell it, and it was regular coffee. There was no pumpkin spice in the pumpkin spice bag. So we are still
no spice in the coffee.
We are going to go through everyone's score real quick, and then I'm going to give you my score. Jay's got the Giants 24-21. Mr. Bruce got it 13-17 Commanders. Zach Attack got 11-8 Giants. Oh, I like that.
Oh, my God, Zach.
I like that. Greg has got a 35-17 Commanders. Jay fed 24-20 Giants. Kevin's got a 24-27 Giants. Danny's got it Skins 21-17. Robert says Commanders 22-20. Mr. Olson says 34-24 Giants. We already got the Mr. Weaver's comment because that was a great comment. Master says 23-20 Giants. Juan's got a 24-17 Commanders. Brownie's got a 24. Who's now my favorite commenter. Now I got a 24-23 because I felt slightly bad that I yelled at him, but not really. Brownie's got a 24-23 Giants. Mr. Weaver 31-21 G-Man. Told everyone about Sellers is better than Archie. You were 100% right. Dunkin' Donuts actually has really good daily coffee. Oh, we love Dunkin' Donuts coffee here.
Yes.
Wawa and Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
JB says Giants 24-21 Skins. Joe Rev's got a Joe Rev, where the hell you been, man? Got a 20-28 Washington. Down the Mans 24-21 G-Man. Heading out to the game now. Let's see here. T. Brad 35-24 Commanders. Mr. Belford's 24-27, 24-24, 27-24 G-Men. All right, guys. I've already said this before. FanDuel got to 6.5 point dogs. And I'm going to get to everyone else's scores, but I'm going to give my score prediction, even though we're only at 77. I was waiting to get 80 likes to get the prediction. Here's what I'm giving you guys. I've already said this before. If I'm a betting man, I've already placed my bet on FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America, while I was looking for my job on ZipRecruiter. I was sitting there looking at this, telling you to take the 6.5. Because I do think the Giants with the points, that is a winning proposition. But here's the but, and it's a big but.
Uh-oh. That's what she said.
I am taking the Giants 24-17.
Oh,
New York Giants 24-17. Why? Why not? No, I'm a Homer channel now. But I am going 24-17. I think what's going to happen is I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to have his sophomore slump today. But it's the unknown factor of the Giant defense and pass rush, which I think is going to be a difference maker early. I think the Commanders are going to make a couple mistakes early because I think they may underestimate the rush, the speed rush. And I think what's going to happen is when the Giants are going to go out and take a lead. The Giants are going to go out and put up like 21 in the first. It's probably going to be like 21-3 going into halftime. The Commanders coaching staff is a professional coaching staff. I think they'll adjust. They will score some second points. I think the Giants then offense will be shut down a little bit by the Commanders, and the Giant defense will give up. I think Jaden Daniels will take advantage of some of the over-aggressiveness between Carter, Thibodeau, and Burns, but I think they hold on. Giants 24-17. I think at one point in time, probably going into the fourth, is going to be like 21-17. You're going to get a Graham Gano kick if he's healthy, because I know they've had the other kicker, and he was kicking with a tennis shoe the other day. I don't know what the hell that had to do with the price of eggs in China. I love it. Tim turned in the Cop Izzle. I was gonna do a Cop Izzle impression, but I don't.
please.
I can't. I don't have the strength to be. I don't have the strength to be that stupid. But I know you're being sarcastic. I know you're being sarcastic. I know that. But I'm saying 24-17. I think it's like 21-17 Giants going into the fourth. They get a field goal at end to ice it a little bit. I think the Commanders, the last 2-3 minutes of the game, have opportunities, but I think the Giants defense will hold. And I think at the end of the day, we won't have a surprise, because, we are all smart here. But that's what I'm saying. Take the 6.5, but I do think the Giants take this one 24-17.
Ooh.
I know.
Going with the upsets today.
I'm going with the upset special because James Stein's got a 35-28 Giants over the Commanders. Daryl's got a 31-27 G-Men. A lot of G-men. Zach Attack's got Russell Wilson 25 for 27, 300 yards, touchdown, 34 yards rushing. Okay. The Rock's got it at 20-21 G-men. We also got a 28-17 Giants. We got a lot of Giant fans picking up the Giants to win. So let's see here. Love to mellow in the days of the real Big East, but UConn is still the college basketball capital of the world. Yeah, it is. I mean, I give you that. I mean, Syracuse had their run, they had their moments, but they've been far and few in between. Is it true that Sean Maresh got caught stealing Cadillac converters? I don't know who Sean Maresh is.
Oh, that's the guy on WFAN.
Oh, Sublights is he's like, yeah. But good. I'm really disappointed in the positive. So who is he?
He is the Cop Pizzle of WFAN. There we go.
Did he get caught? Did he get caught stealing things?
There was something with him. I didn't really go into that because I was like, if he's doing that, I mean, that's like sounds so 80s.
Listen,
90s.
I'm going to tell you something right now, though. Stealing a Cadillac converter is not easy.
No, it's not. That's why I know he wasn't doing it.
I was going to say, so unless this guy really knows what he's doing, I can't see him stealing a Cadillac converter. That's
no. If you've seen what he looked like, it's like no.
Okay. Well, I don't know what he
hired some kids from the neighborhood.
Yeah, but that's not a. And then you stealing a Cadillac converter. You got to know what you're doing. because you got to be underneath.
Oh, speaking of UConn, hold on, Tim. I got to do this 2 seconds. Speaking of UConn, we have to give respects to the women who actually knew how to play. Shout out to Maya Moore and Sue Bird, who also went into the Hall of Fame last night, just because you brought up UConn. Shout them out.
Okay, can I just say this? Like soccer, women's basketball is no sport.
And college it is.
Not even in college.
Women's college basketball.
You have a women's college basketball game on, and then you have okay. Good question for you. You have a big time college women's basketball game on, or you have 2 mid-level NBA teams playing on the same night at the same time. What are you watching?
Well, I'll be honest. Are you telling me UConn is one of the college women's teams playing?
Sure. The fact that you're taking this long to answer already tells me the truth. But go ahead.
No, you bring up a great question, but the UConn, listen, you go undefeated and win the championship, credit has to be given.
That's not the question, though. It's
no. Well, I'm saying if it's UConn's women, I may be watching UConn. I may be watching the women.
But you're saying you may be. You're not saying you're definitely going to watch it. That's like saying the Arsenal is playing Westchester Abbey. I don't know another team. The Arsenal playing Westchester someone, but you have on the Colts and the Jaguars. You're not watching soccer. You're going to watch the
football. That's a whole nother animal. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'll give you that. Football is a whole nother animal.
Both of them are football.
Technically, yes. Yes, you're right. But I will say this: I don't think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just love it. Tim's gonna have a feminist party knocking on his door. Manchester,
Greg.
You like I really care. Okay, you like I really. First of all, let me. I gotta go, but I gotta talk about the Philly Karen, everyone's talking about in Miami, that she came over and berated the guy, and the guy just gave up and gave the ball, which was his son's birthday on Friday, and gave it to her just to get rid of her. And I love it because there's the scene where. And maybe it's because I'm a different generation, but being Gen X, there was a scene that she runs up and grabs the guy, and he has this shocked look, and he's holding on to his kid, because he's stunned that someone's grabbing him. I don't care who you are. You come up and grab at me like that out of nowhere, I'm swinging. Yeah, it'll probably be a bad look that I just knocked a woman out to 4 different rows, but I'm swinging. Because if someone comes up and grabs you like that, you don't know what their intent is. I'm not going to sit there and try to wait to see who it is. And then the fact that he gave the ball to her, I was like, this is the problem in a certain segment of society. So you can be a nut woman that goes up to men. And then I love it because then they show more video of her flipping the bird to the fans and the family. And then they show videos of her going after other guys. And then they show her husband.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her husband going, I always think of the scene. A 40-year-old virgin. When the guy's girlfriend comes in, he says, you don't know me. You gotta put your bitch on a leash because bitch be running wild. How does this guy just sit there as his woman on television? Her life is going to change for the worse. How do you just sit there and allow her to keep doing this right then and there? That's why I think both men are wrong. How did you not tell your wife, honey, if I was to do that, my wife at 4'11", 100 pounds would probably be yelling. I mean, you want to talk about being emasculated? Well, that would have happened on national television because my wife would tell me, stop being a fucking nut. But
in all fairness, that's crazy. Yeah. That video was crazy.
There is no all fairness. I'm going to give you, wait, here you go, James. Here you go. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the perfect scenario and tell me how the situation would be different. Tell me how the situation would be different. What if we reverse the races?
Oh my God.
What if we reverse the races? What if everyone in the situation is no longer white? What if everyone's black? What would happen in the black community in this situation?
Well, first off, I don't know why you did this to me today. But first off,
be honest.
The girl running up on the guy, the father, she's either getting a straight stiff arm, which and then would probably cause the husband to get out of his seat, go approach that guy. Then that guy's friends are going to come over. Then the guy's it's going to be a melee in the stands.
Imagine
That's
this
all I'm going to say. A melee.
Happened at the barbecue.
Oh, no. There'll be chicken flying everywhere.
That's
and I do mean flying.
That's all I say. But we got Slider coming in.
This is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Let's see. Slider said just finished breakfast. Slider's going to be at the hotel to check out and fly back home to call to Cali. Well, welcome back to Cali. Hopefully we have you on. Before Matthew says, I left to come back. And Jerry Springer, what the fuck? She got fired from her. She was not an administrator in New Jersey. That was not her. The woman that actually came out from New Jersey who said that they were and said that it was not her. But I'm just being honest. And like I said, I had to put James on the spot. Booker T. I like Booker T. James, has anyone told you that you resemble Booker T for the former pro wrestler? Does James look like
everyone when you get off? When you get off the stream, Google Booker T talking about Hulk Hogan. That's all I'm going to say.
but
you haven't seen that clip.
Booker T had dreads.
And Booker T is a big dude. You put that leg on you, that drop kick on you.
Booker T had dreads. So, I mean, okay. But I'm just saying everyone's wrong in the situation. But yeah.
Yeah, nah. I mean, come on, man. If she's willing to go grab on a stranger like that, imagine what's going on in that house with that same husband.
Oh, I know.
That's what
my wife would literally be screaming at me to stop being a fucking idiot and come back here and sit down. And like a dumbass, I'd be okay.
Yes.
And I would. But yeah. And like I said, I just watched her husband. And to your point, I'm like, yikes. You're right. What else is going on in that house? But right now we haven't, we got all the scores in. We're done for the day. Giants in 53 minutes. I got my score 24-17 G-Men. Like I said, go out and go to FanDuel.com. Take the 6.5 points. Make your first bet. America's #1 sportsbook. We got the venerable James Williams. What if you change the sexes?
You want a dude running up on a mom, grabbing her? You can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
You can't do that. No, that's called felony assault. That's not. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
You know what'll happen then? That means somebody's sitting on the side. Go, hey, buddy, you can't do that. Cut that out.
Yeah.
You have a big melee in the stands. Oh my God.
You can't do that though. Matthew says 24-17 Giants is a good score. Thank you. Mr. Taz says 23-21 Washington. Giants don't have the right style defense for Washington. Oh, Blackbird's at the stadium. Blackbird's going to the game today. Someone's getting married today, and I forget who it was. And please forgive me, but
yeah.
Someone is getting married today, and I've mentioned it a couple times, but I'm drawing a blank today. But happy marriage day. Hope the Giants win for you.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. I don't know if they're Jewish, but okay. Well, we're gonna go with that.
Does it matter?
No, not really. Not on this show. No, not really.
No, it doesn't. I was saying, not here. It doesn't.
Like I've told people, have you seen this show? That's like every time we get a sponsor, I always say the same question: have they watched the show? Or, and I always love when people go, "Oh, we just love your content and your show." I'm like, "You've never watched it, have you? You just see the numbers." The guy did the right thing, giving the ball back. His kid was there and shows how to diffuse a bad situation. She needs to be banned. No, because all you're doing is feeding into the negative society of people that if you bitch loud enough and complain, you get what you want, even though when you're wrong, you're in a ballpark, and even on your ticket it talks about foul balls. No, never should have given it the ball. I would have sat down. I would have sat down and let her berate me and yell at me, finished my beer, and then just called it a day. No. Crazy's crazy. Danny says it right. So,
yeah.
all right,
Listen,
guys.
yeah. Enough said.
Enough said. We're going to end this. I want to thank James. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. It's been a great show. Giants on at 1. The way the guy was started. What did he say? The way the guy was started was pathetic, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I would have swung.
Well, that's part of the problem. He was scared. That's part of the, you can tell he was a little,
My initial reaction would be to swing. That's.
He said, "Oh my God, son, we're being robbed." Give up your popcorn.
Quick, give me your
oh my
Oh
God.
Oh my goodness. Who's drinking during the game and what are you drinking? I'm just gonna probably have a beer. I'm not really drinking much today. I drank too much.
Beer and Hennessy.
I drank enough the last couple of days. I don't feel like drinking anymore. So catch you on the flip, Matthew. All right, guys, you know what? We're out of here. Appreciate everyone. Hope everyone has yourself a good, safe weekend. We'll do a stream at 11 o'clock Monday morning to talk about the New York Football Giants. I don't know if we're gonna have a video after the game because I am lazy now. So as always, appreciate everyone for hanging in and hanging out. And for James Williams, this is Tim, and we are out of here.